It is said that I love Lois gourd baby, with a big gourd on his back. It is also said that my love is my anger, because he lost his temper. Love on the forehead turns to anger, so love will be angry if it disappears. And I think I love Raw is a blackened version of Naruto. In this video, we take a closer look at my love for Wo's life. Ella was born in the house of the village chief of Sanhide. He's the old man of the family. There's a brother on it, a surname. It was supposed to be a happy childhood, but he suffered from birth. He was a premature baby. Mom died giving birth to him. Shortly after he was born, my father stuffed a crane inside of me. Became the village's pillar power weapon. He was treated like a monster. At the age when he most wants to play with other friends. But no one wanted to play with him. He wants to make friends with other people, even one. But all he saw was the fear and hate in the eyes of others. Every time like this, he was so upset that he wanted to find his mother. But he doesn't have a mother to call little him. Often a person lying in bed to leave lonely tears. Fortunately, there was a glimmer of light in his world. That is Uncle Nightfoot Pill. One day he sat alone on the swing. Their eyes kept fixed. The kids playing football on the playground. He yearns for, very eager to fit in. Suddenly a child accidentally kicked the ball up high. The children were worried about not getting the ball. It's like he finally found a way to fit in. Hurriedly Sand took the ball down. I thought the kids would accept him for it. But he saw it again. That familiar look. I saw children treat him like a shore from hell. Escape like hell. I just want to hang out with you guys. Why run away? He reached out his hand to stop them. But it drives the sand unintentionally. And the moment the sand hits the kids, Uncle Nightfoot Pills appear. He shielded the child from harm with his body. See Night Spear Pill wounded bleeding. He blames himself. At a loss. He wanted to know what it felt like to bleed. So he tried to stab the back of his hand with a knife. But the sand got in his way. This scene happened to be met by the Nightfork Pill. Nightfork Maru looks worried. Let me love Lo not to do such a thing again. Because he was sent by the Wind Shadow to take care of him as a medical patch. I love Lo very seriously and Nightfork Pill apologized. But he wanted to know. What does pain feel like? Night Pill told him. Pain is a state of discomfort and sadness. I love Lo is not understand. He asked, clutching his chest. It always hurts here. But it's very painful here. Nightfork Maru walked to Isle of the Side, took the knife and cut his finger, and tell him gently, physical wounds do bleed. It looks painful, but the pain will go away naturally with time. If medication is used, recovery will be faster. But the hurt in the heart is more troublesome. There's no medicine, or he could never recover. But there is another thing that can heal the broken heart. That's love. He wanted very much to stop the pain inside. Eager to ask, how do you get love? Night Spear Pill told him. He's already got it. Love is giving and protecting the one you love. The sand will protect him automatically. But now, Nightfork Pill also regards him as the most important person. I love seems to understand what is love. The pain in his heart seemed to ease a great deal. To help stop the bleeding, he put the finger of the spear in his mouth. He also got the poison from the night pill, trying to heal the children he hurt. He knocked on the door of the child's house expectantly, apologized sincerely, and handed the wound medicine to the other side. Get away, monster. Those 4 words put him in a hole in the ice for a long time. How long did he stand at the door? Finally hurt the medicine along with his burning heart. They all fell to the ground. Then he walked back, as if he had lost his soul. I met a drunk man on the road. When the man saw him, he had the same look in his eyes as that kid. That look of hate and fear. He doesn't understand. Why does the village treat him like this? In a rage he sent away the drunk. Didn't get very far. He met him as Wind Shadow's father. As looking at him with a very serious eye. He stopped to look at his father, but my father didn't say a word. He knew his father must be very disappointed in him. He sat on the roof fence, constantly thinking, why am I the only one who's this monster? Remember what Knight Spear Maru said. Love heals the broken heart. But he felt his heart ache more and more. Suddenly a cloud of sand rose from behind. It was protected from the few flying from behind. He looked back. Someone else tried to kill him. He felt like everyone was targeting him. In a fit of rage, and took the life of the assassin. He doesn't know who it is. Why kill him? Until he saw the bandage on his ring finger. His heart tightened. Swallow. He was trembling toward the assassin. He tried to tell himself, that's just a coincidence. That sort of thing can never happen. Pluck up his courage. It really is that has been taking good care of their own nightfall pill. There was a sharp pain in my heart. This kind of thing. He couldn't take it at all. The night pill was the last light in his heart. And now he's killed by himself. His mouth asked again and again. Why, and it came out of the mouth of a night harpoon. It made him desperate. Night Spear Pill said, to assassinate him at the behest of Lord Wind Shadow. It is also their own strong will. Deep down inside, the monk hated him, because I Love Rose birth took his sister's life. Later, he was even more informed. Mother was a victim of the village. He died with a curse on him. Name him I Love Ro. I want him to become a Shura, who only loves himself. Fight only for yourself, and survive. The name was a sign of my mother's resentment towards the village. Finally, a Night Spear Maru said a devastating word. You've never been loved. The word seemed to shut out all the light in his world. It went dark. When the spear detonates the detonator in the chest, he couldn't hold it at all. Carved a love word into his forehead with sand. He has to remind himself every moment. Love only oneself. Fight only for yourself. He shut himself off inside. Admit that you're alone. He went ballistic that night. Vandalism in the village. He's been a cold weapon ever since. Always feeding mother's soul with human blood. He's going to kill everyone but himself. Find a reason to live by killing. Later, he was used as a weapon to destroy wood leaves. Was sent to Kiba to take the Nakamoto exam. And this is the journey of the leaf. Changed the course of his life. Just to the wood leaf. Brother Kanji Yulang had a conflict with the people of Mui, even releasing crows to fight. He spoke out and stopped Kenjuro. You know, like standing upside down in a tree. Have to say, the force is really high. That's when he first met Naruto. And ignored it. And look at him the same way. And the stronger Sasuke is interested. It wasn't long before the written test for Shinobi began. He used his eyes of sand to breeze through. The dead forest is his favorite part. Because you can in the exam. Lawful homicide. So he planned to kill, in the forest of death, everyone I meet. Because they exude strength. Plus the introduction of the medicine man's card. Squad light. I don't want to be on their radar. But there's a team in Rainhide. It's very hard. With some strength to strike first. Use the rain and do book on him from the beginning. A flying needle came at him from all corners of 360. But, unfortunately, his sand defense is also an all-directional defense. He did not move and accepted the rain of flying needles. The next thing he knows, it's gonna rain blood. He drives the sand. Base and binding pivot will rain hid an uncle to firmly control, and then slowly lift him into the air. When a sandstorm dies, it explodes, and he had already put up the Uncle Rain hide umbrella. He said the victim's blood got mixed in with the sand. It gives the Shura more power. The other two rain hidden after listening. Scared, he hands over the scroll and begs for mercy. but it has not escaped the fate of becoming a sand nutrient. 3 little ones hiding in the grass, and he wasn't going to let it go. Under the persuasion of his brother and sister in turn, he stopped. Then they went straight to the central tower, all in 97 minutes, the fastest 4 hours ever recorded. In the qualifiers, during the battle between Days Ada and Den Ing, he saw a number of shinobus stepped in to protect Yukyang. Saw Naruto rush up, trying to stand up for Vitian. After being stopped by Shaoli, Naruto grabs the blood of Wada on the ground again. Challenge Ing. Such emphasis on the words and deeds appears. It stirred a little anxiety in his heart. He wants to nourish his sand with blood again. Then he made up with Shaoli. At first he stood in place with his hands folded. At every turn, sand fended off all of Shaoli's attacks for him. Is that the only extent? Give me a little more excitement. Then Shaoli took off his weight, several times faster than just now. His eyes. I can't keep up with Shaoli. Soon he received a kick on the head from Shaoli. On the verge of. I got punched on the ground by Shaoli, but his outer layer, with an armor of sand, he continued to pick. Is that all there is? And then he paid the price for that. Shaoli circled him again at high speed. The Dorian kick sent him into the air. And then he's tied up in bandages and spun around at high speed. It crashed to the ground, forced to play with Shaoli once through teeth. Fortunately, he found a chance to use the sand substitute in time, but it also activated his desire to fight. It didn't take long. He pushed Shaoli into a corner with sand. Just as I was about to end the fight, Shaoli erupted again. I opened the octo-pail. Once again the speed and power increased dramatically. He was kicked in the air again. The sand can no longer keep up with Shaoli. Then he took dozens of blows in the air. His armor of sand is falling apart. Soon he received Shaoli's final blow. That is Liu Yonhua under Shaoli 5 door. He was really hit hard. But the gourds on his back are also made of sand. In the end the amount of sand turned was greatly reduced. Landing impact. By this time Shaoli had lost his fighting power. He manipulated the sand and grabbed Shaoli's hands and feet. Tied a coffin with sand in one move. Makes Shaoli incapacitated. When he wants to further make the little Li a nutrient for the sand. Nakai rushed onto the field. Protect in front of Shaoli. His body just took a critical hit. Such a picture of preservation. Gave him another mental critical blow. The love he always wanted and never got. Why are the leaves flying everywhere? The people around him are not trying to assassinate him. I'm afraid of him. Fog duration. He has a splitting headache. Then he went to Shaoli's ward. I want Shaoli to nourish his son, but was hit by Naruto's iron fist. He threatened to interfere with him, even kill them together. Naruto shouted to him, because you're still trying to kill me. Kagaru stopped Naruto, said he was strong like a monster. Naruto said, I raised a real monster. I don't lose to people like that. The kind of thing you do for your fellow man. Deepened the hatred in his heart. He thinks, it's only right that a man should fight for himself. Night. He killed 6 dutos who came to challenge him. Before the fight with Sasuke, take out the 2 grasses that let him release the water. The mood has cleared up a lot. He felt the real sense of being alive. Next he's gonna kill Sasuke again. It was something he had wanted to do since the first time they met. But Sasuke went through a month of special training, has become more powerful, with a body skill comparable to Zhao Li's. After a few bites, he cowered inside the maracas. This is the most powerful body art. I can't hurt him. And straight can also launch and counterattack. But he didn't think. Sasuke has mastered the deadly art of ninjutsu. Clever. It went right through his maracas. and the sand armor on his body. It was a real attack on him. He felt a rush of heat. Turns out, it was self-bleeding. He was beaten to death. From birth. This is the first time. The original bleeding injury is so painful. So he lost his mind in a flash. Completely forget. And the pharmacist saw that the situation was wrong. Unleashing a massive illusion. The leaf collapse program was activated. But he was badly wounded. Chakra took most of it too. Maki had to arrange Hanju and Kanji Yulang. Take him aside to heal. Ko Sasuke went after them. Kanji Yulang and Han Han take turns after breaking. But it still didn't stop Sasuke. He knew Sasuke was on his way. Keep your hands off him. And slammed her out of the way. To take down the mighty Sasuke. He forced himself into the base. In this mode, his strength was raised again. Sasuke's various base changes. There's no way to hurt him. Only 1,000 birds can really hurt him. But Sasuke, at the time, 1,000 birds can only be released twice a day. After Sasuke forced his third shot, then empty blue fell down. I love that. And extended a big poor eye at Sasuke. Such a hunt. He's high. I even slobber Ed. But the moment I get it, he received a powerful kick to the face. Naruto ruined his good deed. He was very angry. While Naruto is still scared, he quickly attacks Sasuke again. And this time, it was Sakura who picked up the beater and stopped Sasuke in front of him. It reminded him, the night spear pill that once stood in front of the children. He got more angry. Appa for Sakura pressed the tree. How come they all have gods? People who love them, except yourself. Only people who think he's a monster. He has a splitting headache. He asked Naruto, who are they to you? Naruto theory. They are my partners. You lay a finger on them again. I'll beat the shit out of you. It seemed ridiculous to him, because he thinks fighting for himself is the right thing to do. Only in this way can we be truly powerful. He further relies on the body. Unlimited sand dust big breakthrough a ton of output. He plans to play with Naruto slowly. He wants to see Naruto. When exactly do you abandon your friends and run away? After hitting Naruto with a sword in a few shamans' hands, Naruto not only did not give up. Instead, the eyes become firm. And then he did some fancy silky dupel gigs. Made his ass pop. Naruto told him, when a man wants to protect something he loves, to really become strong. Then Naruto broke out into chakra. It's 1,000 different people. Soon he had 2,000 rounds. An attack of 4,000 shells. So he can only enter the hole. He made a big grab. The sand covered Naruto. That's the end of it, then. Sandstorm dead. There was a sudden burst of smoke. A large clam appeared in front of him. A single cut off one of his arms. In this case, then he wants to show Naruto the true power of sand incarnate. He uses the technique of napping. Let the crane out to fight. A crane can really crush the big clam too much. But it didn't take long. Naruto landed a flying punch on his face. Woke him up. Time and again. He lost all patience. The uses and binding pivots. Got Naruto under control. He wants to kill Naruto for it. But Naruto once again erupted chakra. Get out of control. Naruto came at him. He bound his hands securely in sand. But at this time, his forehead, here comes a head. He could no longer sustain all of them. Two people fall down. It landed at the top of the tree. The two men rushed towards each other again. Finally he took Naruto's fist. Fall to the ground. He began to doubt life. Why is this guy so powerful? Look around. Naruto was actually moving his body towards him with his chin. He's already getting flustered. Yell at Naruto to stay away. But, Naruto said, I can understand his loneliness, his pain, but he already has the people he loves. So he tried desperately to stop him. He continued, Why would you do that for someone else? Naruto told him. Because they rescued me from a lonely hell. An important partner who acknowledged my existence. This reminded him of what Yoshimaru had said. Love is wanting to give and protect the people around you. He realized, Naruto is so strong because of love. Then he also wants to try to follow Naruto's path. To love the people around you. After Kanji Yulang and Hanju arrived, he said to them, on the way back, and apologized to them. His relationship with his brother and sister has eased. Soon the three of them received a plea for help from MUYE. They arrived just in time to save Kaiba's ninjas. And with the Y in Inju to fight. He was fighting Kumayu, the ace of the big snake Maru. This guy's a tough guy. Ace and waterfall that can stand up to him. Dunmalu said he would no longer be trapped by his sand. He went straight for a massive blast of fluid sand. There's no escape for Junmalu. To bury Junmalu alive in a sea of sand. Let's move on to a desert burial. That could have crushed a man. But it's still the same. Junmalu is a tough nut. After turning on spell mark to mode, and surprisingly hard, resist the pressure of the mountain, burst out of the sand, a sand binding pivot, and a wall of sand can't hold it back. Kumayu in spell seal to mode. After he was scored by Junmalu, Dunmalu drew out the hardest bone in her body, used out of the wire-flowered ants. ILO unleashed his strongest defense. The crane shield holds it steady. See Junmalu said himself. Exists to help Serpent Maru fulfill his ambitions. You'll stay in Snake Bowl's heart forever. He felt that Kumayu was empty. It was the snake bowls that washed the brain. Because there aren't many chakras left. He decided to end the fight with a last resort. He sealed it and buried it in prisoned sand. It sent Junmalu to the bottom of the sand 200 meters below. But even so, the bone spurs are rapidly filling the ground, forming a self-bone forest. Fortunately, he used the sand to get out in time. Dodged a bullet. And soon, Junmalu also climbed out of the ground at a depth of 200 meters. Not behind them. Yell at him with a bone spur. It's not brainwashing. Lord Serpent Maru understands me. What do you know? And stopped just before the spur hit him. Dunmalu was there at that moment. Life is over. After this war is over. For a long time he could not calm down. In his opinion, Kumayu is fighting for someone important too. Same as Naruto. And not all important people are good. Shaoli said he would not regard bad servants as important people. But he gave the opposite answer. Because you can't beat loneliness. So whether it's mom or dad, uncle, or the villagers who once hated him, will be the object of his love. Back in the village, his goal was to gain recognition, aim to be the upward shadow, set the ball rolling. It's been a rocky road for many, but he chose to go ahead. The so-called sincerity of the gold stone to open. Thus 1 year, he became the wind shadow. I have the responsibility of protecting Sen Hidden Village on my shoulders. One night, he sensed an invasion. He carried the hoist to precisely cut the lake at Did Era's landing point. Soon the two were fighting. He has a slight advantage. At first his sand drove Did Era through the air. Nearly tied Did Era up several times. But the Did Era on the bird is too slippery. It's always that close. It's hard not to use a quicksand. Grab one of Did Era's arms. And it popped. What I didn't know was that Did Era secretly planted the spider bomb. Then Did Era used the village as bait. The C3 bomb was released. ILO had to mobilize all the sand for defense. That's when Did Era launched another attack on his own body. He can only call fasts and for defense. And so the spider bomb crawled out of the fast sand. He was hit with a thud. The whole village was buried to prevent the sand from falling straight down. He held on to his last consciousness. Move the sand outside the village. The whole time he never wanted to release the crane to fight. because in his heart it's my duty as the wind shadow, the guardian of the village, and love for the villagers. He was then taken by Did Ara to the Shao stronghold. After 3 days and nights of extraction, the crane was sucked out of him. I thought this was the end of my life. But Naruto and others fought to the death to rob his household body back. And 1,000 generations of mother-in-law is with their own life. Activating rebirth brought him back to life. And when he wakes up again, he was surrounded by people who were worried about him. He worked hard again and again. Finally let the village people. I let him go. The whole village greeted him at the entrance of the village. He knows. I finally became what everyone needed. It was recognized by everyone. Got a lot of love. Since then, he wants to unite countries to deal with it. Except for what leaves, nobody paid any attention to him. Then all the tails were taken away. The Thunder Shadow held a meeting of the 5 shadows. Even though he's the youngest, but he spoke neither servile nor overbearing. It's a good start to the 5 shadow talks. His sincerity and self-possession, and helped the 5 nations for Jan Alliance. That one of his, when did you give up on yourself? It is deeply affected the wild wood. He is full of blood and positive energy. So he was appointed commander of the Allied forces. When the coalition of nations first assembled, he also showed his excellent leadership skills. Ninjas from different countries who fought for years. There are very deep feelings. To bring everyone together to face Shao. He tells the story of himself and Naruto with sincerity. They understand each other because of the same pain. Now the entire Shinkyo community is being persecuted by the Shao organization, carrying the pain left by Shao, so there are no enemies. Neither, no, Sendhide, Unyn, Rookide, Wardent Leaf. Some are just ninjas. He put his head on the line, persuade the coalition to unite, to protect one's cherished companions, protect the village, protect the world. He cried at last. I was too young and too shallow. Not enough for such a thing. Therefore, please help me. His impassioned speech moved everyone. They put down the tea. The eyes became firm. After his speech, everyone rushed to the battlefield with high morale. He also led his troops to hold on to their areas of responsibility. Soon the shadows ever appeared on their side. There are 2 generations of water shadow ghost light moon. The 2nd generation of earth is absent. 3 generations of shadow Ei. And his father the 4th wind shadow Rashe is also among them. Seeing my father after many years, he has taken it very easy. After the wind shadow, he understood the responsibility of being the wind shadow. To understand what my father did. He told his father, my own experience over the years. 1,000 generations of mother-in-law sacrificed her life to save her, and made a full-on friend. It's not just wind shadows now. He was also a company commander in the Ninju army. Here this. My father was shocked, because he tested the value of my love 6 times. 3 words to the conclusion. Failure. Rashe decided to test my Elohim's worth one last time. Soon father and son were fighting. The first is the collision of sand and gold. He controls the sand into a hand shape. Through sand. Then the gizzard was applied. A large number of sand bombs fell from the air and hit the ground. My father shielded his head with sand gold. He grabbed the gap that was leaking from the bottom of their feet. Let the sand that falls to the ground forms and hands. But a hold of them. The father countered with sand gold. He uses sand for defense. Father saw his mother in the sand, and he didn't do it again. Later, he heard his father praise him for growing up. I heard my father say that my mother loved him deeply. The power that guards him is not the power that keeps the crane. It's mom's strength. And he heard it. The night spear shot him. He gave the order. Yashimaru said his mother had no love for him. It was his order. That moment, His tears could no longer be controlled. Original. He was loved from birth. Nightfolk is also always in love with their own, and he knew it. The father arranged Nightfolk to take care of themselves. So in his heart his father loved him. When a father blames himself for being a failure as a father, he said, he was already in the hands of nocturnally ills. Got the medicine from my father. This made Tourette's father cry. After the battle with my father, his heart suddenly opened up. Also free and happy. Then he was in a better frame of mind to fight. Throughout the full moors, his performance is commendable. Using the sealing properties of sand, match the seal without, and a ghost moon. I just want to mention that he obtained a wisp of placer gold from his father, cracked the ghost-like magic moon tricks teamed dangerous explosion. In the face of Copro Lolly A. The sand has been created many times for Naruto. Perfect opportunity to attack. He cooperated with Ono. He held the meteorite against a pillar of sand. When the five shadows fought Spot to the death, he almost sealed it with sand several times. Later, he led the beasts to fight with Spot, and almost sealed it with a sand desert burial. When Naruto was pumped to take a breath, he drove Naruto around for help. For battlefields, his handsome figure is everywhere. The word love runs through my life. He fell into darkness because of love. Also because of love and to glory.